Your Honor, the next call we're turning to is reference number 2119, PDF page 2145. This is on April 1st of 2022. And the state, this is defendant Stillwell on a contraband phone talking to Damekion Garlington about a number of things. He discusses, so there's a lot of discussion about the Chanel Drinks murder where, and we're going to ask to play this entire call, but defendant Stillwell says he doesn't know why Miles got out of the car, referencing to Miles Farley. And Miles Farley was arrested April 1st as well, which is the same day that this call was made. He also discusses, we had referenced this some earlier, but they're kind of like they're trying to decipher how Farley is handling getting arrested on this serious charge of murder. But there's a lot discussed, but we would like to play it, but it mentions a number of different relevant circumstances to include defendant Stillwell tells Garland that it's ugly and he needs him. He also states, and they discuss, Garlington tells defendant Stillwell that Dolly said Thug's not talking to anybody. And Garlington says it should be funny. He should be funny and post free wife and Lucci, because at the same time, Mr. Bennett is also in the Fulton County Jail. And so also defendant Stillwell tells Garlington that the gunpowder test will come back clean, so he isn't tripping, which the state believes is in reference to the vehicles utilized in the murder of Chanel Drinks. So the state's going to play this call from the beginning to the end.
What's up, bro? What's up? Heavy. So what? Heavy. What's up, man? What the hell going? Man, shit, right here to the new weapon. Huh? I said right here to the new young boy. What you got going? You alright?
Yeah, you know I can hit you on that other phone. Shit, I'm on that motherfucker.
For real? Are you on? Oh, this another one?
No, it's
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
yeah, bro. I know. I ain't just like big time. That's where you at. That's what
I really coach fun, so I just like, yeah. I can't, man. They motherfucker tripping on that motherfucker.
For real, man.
Yeah. I said one shit. I said shit. I'm gonna go straight to my house. I had stay out of that motherfucker.
Yeah. But she told me that I moved your style.
Yeah.
Running like what on North inside?
No, I'm with Free.
You were Free?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And they do the Free.
They do. Yeah, damn. Somebody said it. T-Rock was out there with you or something?
Yeah, T-Rock was downstairs with me.
Yeah, because somebody had me in the hood. They're like, bro down there with T-Rock. I ain't know T-Rock locked up.
Yeah. What the hell was going on? Everything. What the hell? What's up with Trump, man? What the hell he talk crazy like that?
What do you think?
Just talk crazy, man. All that little shit. Like.
You talking crazy about Mal?
Nah, it's about me talking about Mal and shit.
I ain't heard that.
Yeah, it's a lot of little shit I told boy.
Yeah.
Had me blow.
They blow?
Had me blow.
Oh, yeah. I ain't talked to him, but the only person that be talking to is Mal.
Yeah.
He be asking me like what's going on. I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. What the hell?
Like, damn, bro. Like
everything is smooth though.
Yeah, I know it. I already know that.
They just got them. They on Mal though.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know why the fuck he can get out the car.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm telling folks. I'm like, shit, what the hell they locked up for? Like, they just saying, like, I'm like, well, they good. I'm just like, they gonna assume some shit like that anyway. They gonna assume that, like, y'all ain't did, ain't kill him, so.
That's what I keep telling I keep telling him, like, just chill. Like, I know.
Cause they say he
nothing. Yeah, I'm like, this ain't nothing, bro. Like, they just doing that cut. They seen as it got gas. It's like, just chill. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. That's what I'm telling. I keep telling my thing. I'm like, listen, bro. You're like, bro, I'm telling fucking cat. Listen, bro, no. Just tell him what you want to talk, bro. Like,
man, listen, bro. I told Baba, I'm like, hey, tell buddy, do the same thing I did when I went in there. I told him, hey, I want to see my lawyer.
Yeah,
my lawyer. I'm going to say nothing else to me. So he got to do the same shit. Don't say not one word.
Yeah.
You down what they try to portray or what they say, man. Don't say shit.
Yeah. I ain't know that. They tell them, they're like, hey, bro. But like, hear about that call, they're like, you heard? I'm like, yeah, nah. I'm like, shit, I know. I'm like, I keep in contact too. You know what I'm saying? They folk. I'm like, I ain't turning on the phone. I'm like, he don't understand that anyway, though.
Yeah, I ain't doing that anyway.
Yeah, I already know. I already know. Yeah.
Hey, ugly though, but I need you.
I know. I don't think I ever knew that. I told her, I told her, I told her 1,000. She said 800,000.
I told her like, tell him I need 1,000, but anything in between, just got down.
Oh, no, yeah. She ain't doing that, like, bro. You know, I got.
Yeah.
I know, like, when I talked to one call today, and she told me, y'all just like be patient, cause she hadn't had talked to her. She DM me.
White.
Yeah. She like, man, they tell them like, and no, we ain't, putting on leaving folk like that down. I like, they tell them to be patient. It was a day, be morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, they tell them to be patient, bro. Bro, I got.
I already know that part. I just like. I know like how that go. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really tripping on that. I ain't tripping. Like I've been just trying to keep Buddy calm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, do that, bro. Yeah, bro.
I don't really be liking that coaching and shit. That shit be having me all out. Like
I talk the phone. Like I been on bro. Like he had in FaceTime. Like, oh, what's up with Quay? Like, what the hell? I don't know Quay on the phone saying something. Like, I don't know if he on shit. Like, he told real like, man, tell Buddy got to get his lawyer, bro. We did that shit for him. He paid. You know what I'm saying?
what?
Yeah, that was phone call. He like, bro, tell him, chill out, man.
Nah, I ain't know that about that.
Yeah, they went out downstairs. He was like, yeah, they was on the cell phone. I ain't say nothing. I'm like, I know I ain't even upstairs. I'm like, ain't got access to no phone.
Hell nah, he wasn't that like that. I don't think he said no shit like that though.
Yeah. But then I thought what that was telling somebody, what the hell is he saying? Foreign farming.
Who?
She told him they something about foreign farming.
Okay.
Yeah. She really kind of told me to be careful. I was a porn out. And they would I ran into the boy the police by myself.
Yeah?
Yeah, I ran into him. Yeah. I ran into him by myself. Like that's on TV showing the boy see him turn his head.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. But like we was on live and code him. Nobody be on my page and shit. So I don't know who told shot a video check like, bro, when I ain't run. I say nigga, you ain't run, you damn so touch your head, man, though.
Huh?
I say, no, I ain't say you ran, you damn so touch your head when you see me though. I ain't know what you want. I'm like, listen, bro, you know what's going on. Like before all this shit, like Shadow was straight.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, but you know what's going on, like. He like, bro, ain't no problem with you, bro, with everybody. I'm like, listen, bro, you know how this shit is, bro. You know how this shit go, like, I'm like, yo, I used to speak to you and everything. I'm like, shit, that ain't going on no more, bro. I'm like, y'all, nigga, I'm like, yeah, that's on TV. I'm like, man, I had a corner right now. I told Corn to be quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now they just made a video about an hour ago on Cleveland at the stove with sticks and shit, like, yeah, I'm like, 3 hours, Chris saying.
Man, they on some, that, man. So I be saying stay away from that. That's police shit.
Yeah, man.
That's 12 shit. I ain't with that.
Yeah. Damn, man.
It's all good. Everything.
I know it. So you still like got no light right now? Like they won't take no payment?
They ain't really saying, but ain't really saying that. You just really like, just chill, be patient. Like same thing White tell you.
Yeah. Okay. So I ain't been around like they say they ain't talking to nobody. Like they say like bro, I ain't never seen that nigga hurt like that, but that nigga hurt behind that shit.
I thought they said the one he really fucked with.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, man. I want to talk your ass too, bro. Yeah.
What the hell? Who? I heard.
Yeah. No, I could be funny and put three wives and loose. Yeah. All right.
They had no time that shit. I'm like, man, help 12 in here.
Man, what? Bunk so they call him. Bunk be slam on him. They say he working the police in again and shit. Like they say like he got police like he probably don't know, but like they no folk like they watching his ass. Yeah, like they bonded his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they said they were gonna do it. We got 12 pulled them over and shit.
Yeah, that I don't chill something. I don't know what he on. Yeah, I'll tell him boy like this. Boy like, man, he like, you ain't gotta tell me. I already know. Like, home be got him tripping. Yeah. Like on the other one, like people like, man, I stand on more. Man, I fought with, but on the other, I think about that on some female shit.
Man, I don't know, man. Yeah, I ain't on DB. I ain't heard nothing about that though.
Yeah.
I ain't even talk. Only time we talked to him, I talked to him that's like the same night y'all got locked up.
You gotta add when you call boy, you gotta add boy when you say cuss. I can't really say like, cause she won't really just tell me like in detail, but she just beating around the bush. I really be telling her, man, shut the fuck up
Yeah.
on that one night, cause I ain't going from that strand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know I got you, bro. I had to go long. Trying to get down. I did take care of got down. I know I got you, bro. You gotta got down the whole time, bro. You know I know how that shit is. Like I'm knowing like it, like they need this shit. Like I ain't got you, bro. I'm here with you, man.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to get.
I ain't gonna, you know, like I ain't gonna ask him a word, but like, cause like I don't even have to say your name. Like she know who I be talking about. I don't be talking about nobody else, but I ain't gonna hit you on that motherfucker. Like, ever. You know what I'm saying? But you know, everything really good though.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm like, I heard that shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, that shit was fast as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. Just assume.
I already know. Like when they got down, go to wiping down, doing them got down, them. You know how they gunpowder for rings, all that shit up.
Yeah.
Don't come back clean. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't tripping on that. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man. What the hell twin man on? You're still in yo.
Yeah. Okay, what is that?
You know what's what?
AMC. Who?
Yo folk.
Yeah. Okay, what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got now out of town now. So you gonna get ready to come back. I was gonna lie with that.
Yeah. You ain't talked all night. That was night crazy, bro.
Yeah, I just talked to her today. I talked to her today.
Man, that'd be crazy.
I'm telling her I'm like, he on the cell phone, like probably be over there, like what not. She's like, where? You ain't think you gonna tell on me? I'm like, hell nah.
She can't. I don't even text my ass back no more.
But she be telling them like tell shit.
Yeah, I don't even be responding to her. That crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm finna get bro back your phone, right? I'm gonna get up with you though.
I do that, man. I got you.
All right.
I know you too.
Your Honor, the call is complete. So I don't know if defense has any objections to this call. I think the court understands the state's position of this. We've labeled it as a co-conspirator statement in furtherance.
Your Honor, Carter Matthews again on behalf of Mr. Marquavius Huey. So there was a reference in this call again to a quay, and our position, as we stated earlier, is that it's a 403 issue that we're making at this time, as we did previously. We believe that this is a confusion, creates a confusion of the issues with this, the use of the name quay constantly. The jury has heard the name quay in this trial up to this point. They have heard it. We did file a motion for severance at a previous date. It was denied. I'd like to renew our request for a severance on this issue for the record. And on the basis, again, it's a 403 issue with respect to this word name quay being repeatedly used. I think I've heard it like 3 times, at least in these series of calls. So on that basis, Your Honor, we believe that a 403, and if the court is unwilling to grant the severance under the 403, confusion of issues, confusion of evidence, I would ask this court to, again, reserve the issue to allow us to craft an appropriate 105 instruction that will address this issue.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is there any response right now from the state?
Your Honor, Detective Viverito will clear up, I think, quite clearly that this is in reference to Defendant Nichols, not Defendant Huey, because when they're referencing, they're upset that on a phone call, Mr. Nichols says we did this for Big Bro, talking about the state's theory, Defendant Williams, in terms of what we did it, the murder of Shamel Drinks, who was, I've already described kind of the back and forth, but the testimony, the state's theory, so there won't be any argument at closing, and Detective Viverito, who is going to be introducing these wiretap calls, she will make crystal clear who that quay is referenced on the call. So there won't be any confusion.
Okay, well, that'll cure any potential confusion. So make sure that she does that. All right.
Am I correct in my belief that the state intends to introduce this whole call?
Sounds like it.
Okay. So my immediate concern is around 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Mr. Garlington is talking at this point, not my client. I talked to Funk I talked to Funk. I've been with Brah, and he had me on FaceTime like, yo, what's up with Quay? And then Quay on the phone saying something like, I don't know if he on this SHIT, like he told Rel, like, tell buddy, god dang, get a lawyer, Brah. We did that SHIT for him. He pay, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so we got Garlington having talked to Unfunk, who is Mr. Greer, who supposedly, and I'm trying to put it together, it's not completely clear, but he talks to someone named Rel, and then somehow this comes back to Quay, who, Mr. I think that the state is asserting is Mr. Nichols. So we have like a game of telephone with 4 different steps leading to Garlington, then saying this to my client. And then it should be noted, my client does not tacitly acknowledge, or I think we've been using tacit admission. He says that doesn't sound right. So it's not that. He pushes back, and it's just nested hearsay times 4 in what Mr. Garlington's saying. So I have a real problem with that, because obviously that is someone who is not testifying to my knowledge, the originator of this, and it's passed around a few times, and it goes directly to my client's innocence or guilt. And it's, this little bit in itself strongly suggests that my client is guilty, because the implication is Quay said we did this for Buddy. I'm not concerned about the for Buddy part. I'm more concerned about the we did this part. So that's a major flag right there. And it's nested hearsay. It's 403. Any probative value that could come from this, other than its value as hearsay with 4 steps, is negligible. Clearly, they could get out the facts that they're talking about attorneys without going into that segment right there that is extremely prejudicial to my client. So that's my first objection. I would also object that these other conversations about attorneys just generally are not furthering any conspiracy, but those don't. There's an extra level of concern regarding the time around 5:30.
All right, well, I think we've discussed the issue of attorneys potentially being provided by leaders already, and my ruling would be the same with regard to that. What is the state's response to the issue of it being hearsay, inside of hearsay, the we did this part?
So, Your Honor, that this is a classic co-conspirator statement. This is one co-conspirator providing reassurance to, providing direction to, and promoting cohesiveness with another co-conspirator in furtherance of the conspiracy itself, which is YSL, the criminal street gang.
Right, but back up into this isn't just him, this is somebody else saying that, right? And
Yeah,
Mr. Shard, at least, is saying that Mr. Stillwell pushes back on the assertion. And this was a lot, so I might have to hear it again, but
Yes, Your Honor.
if that's accurate, then that seems like that couldn't be, oh yeah, this is an adoptive admission.
So, Your Honor, a couple things. One, defendant Stillwell is quite upset that Mr. Nichols made that. So the fact that Garlington and defendant Stillwell are discussing that, they need to know what's said on jail calls. They need to know who's talking to the police. They need to know who may fold, and they need to keep tabs on both members in jail and outside. So when they referenced earlier about Mr. Farley and how is he doing, and he needs to, so
Yeah, that's not the part that they're raising, that Mr. Sharp's raising an issue about right now.
you're specifically discussing, Your Honor. So defendant Nichols saying we killed him for bro, and Mr. Sharp saying cannot come in this conversation with his client and Mr. Garlington when they're discussing the intimate details of the murder that they did for bro. The state feels that, and this is why, and I will find the case on this, their conversation, Garlington and Shannon Stillwell, in all its contents, whether they knew this personally, they knew this from like that statement, their conversation is fostering cohesion amongst them, because they both agree he shouldn't be saying that on the phone. And that's where co-conspirator 801D2E is a little bit unique where this nested hearsay, if it's deemed a statement in furtherance of the conspiracy, keeping abreast of the crime, future, past and or future activities, fostering cohesion among street gang members, that type of analysis is incorrect. If you deem that statement and them discussing what one of the other co-defendants did in the murder that the state indicted both defendant Stillwell and Mr. Nichols with and Mr. Garlington with, I think it is classic co-conspirator hearsay, which takes aside Mr. Shart's objection. The nested hearsay is not an appropriate analysis if you deem that statement, which the state believes it is co-conspirator statement. That's the state's position on this nested double
I
hearsay.
really need to see your
Yeah.
case law. on
Yes,
that.
Your Honor.
I think
can we-
that's just an incorrect statement. of the law.
I'd be surprised that it just makes what would otherwise be a valid evidentiary objection disappear. Maybe it does.
And so if it's hearsay, and I'd have to, like the court, I have to hear that little part again, but if they're saying that it's hearsay, that Mr. Nichols' statement about what they did.
Tell us
is
why it's more
hearsay, and
probative.
Mr. Stillwell is on the call,
Right.
right?
Yeah, this is Garlington and Stillwell.
Right. And when he says that his client pushes back, he's not saying we didn't kill him.
No, I don't know, but
That's
let's
what-
hear it again. There was a lot to unpack with this. Maybe it would have been better to take this in sections.
He
but-
says that doesn't sound right. And to push back, you don't need to repeat everything that was said and said, no, that's wrong, no, that's wrong, no, that's wrong. I mean,
Well,
that's,
I mean, it could have been in reference to the, whatever the
Oh, no.
arrangements were for an attorney. I don't know exactly where that came.
But let's start with the proposition that it's Garlington and Shannon. Garlington is talking about talking to Funk, who had him on FaceTime. And that's what Mr. Nichols allegedly told Rel, which was repeated by Funk to Garlington. So, I mean, we're talking about layers upon layers. And this is the classic nested here. So you can't just say if one statement, the first conversation comes in, everything else in the world comes in. It doesn't.
Well, I don't think it does, but the state seems to think that there's law that says it does. So we're going to let them find that. And
So can we play it for the
And if you just want to point me to wherever the original motion is or response is, I can read it on my own. But I mean, if that's easier than you trying to find it right now.
Your Honor, I'm trying to find both the date and the motion itself.
Tell them to be patient. Give it a date. Good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just tell them to be patient, bro. Work out.
I already know that part. I just like I know like how that go. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
ain't really tripping on that. I ain't tripping. Like
Yeah.
I've been just trying to keep buddy calm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, do that. Okay. Yeah, bro.
I don't really be liking that coaching and shit. That shit had me all
Right.
out. Like
I talk the phone. Like I been on bro. Like he had in FaceTime. Like, oh, what's up with Quay? Like, what the hell? I don't know Quay on the phone saying something. Like, I don't know if he on shit. Like, he told real like, man, tell Quay to get and get his lawyer, bro. We did that shit for him. He paid. You know what I'm saying?
what?
Yeah, that was phone call. He like, bro, tell him chill out, man.
Nah, I ain't know nothing about that.
Yeah, then we out downstairs. He like, yeah, they was on the cell phone. I ain't even say nothing. I'm like, I know it ain't even upstairs.
Can you play just maybe the last 30 seconds again?
Sounds consistent with Shard's characterization to
I
me.
don't know Quay on the phone saying something. Like, I don't know if he on shit. Like, he told real like, man, tell Quay to get and get his lawyer, bro. We did that shit for him. He paid. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Yeah, that was phone call.
Keep
You want to
going.
keep on?
He like, bro, tell him chill out, man.
Nah, I ain't know nothing about that.
Yeah, then we out downstairs. He like, yeah, they was on the cell phone. I ain't even say nothing. I'm like, I know it ain't even upstairs. I'm like, ain't even got access to no phone.
Hell nah, he ain't wasn't that like that. I don't think he said no shit like that though.
Yeah. But then I thought what that was
Alright.
telling me like, what the hell is he saying? Farming.
Okay, thank you.
So, Your Honor,
Mm-hmm.
our position is that what he is pushing back against, and it's the context of that statement that is the most important, because they're trying to tell, they're trying to relay to keep someone calm, and that they were talking to Onfunk, who is a co-defendant who pled guilty in this case, and they are alarmed at the fact that another member is potentially on a jail call saying that we did that for Brah. And that's the point at which Shannon is pushing back, saying like, what?
Right.
Like, I can't believe that. And then he's like, nah, he didn't do that. And the other guy says, I don't know, he could have been on a cell phone or what, but that's what I heard him say. So his alarm isn't at, he's lying on me. His alarm is that, and this is what we would argue, of course, anyone can make their own arguments at trial, but we believe that this is what the evidence shows, that the alarm is at the fact that this person on a jail phone is saying something highly incriminating to them and sharing this information between them all. And the alarm in itself is evidence of the fact that this whole conversation is in furtherance of that conspiracy, which is the enterprise that is YSL and the criminal street gang activity of YSL. So none of it is hearsay when all of it is statements of a co-conspirator. It is their reaction to their
It's still
belief.
hearsay, even if it's a statement
I'm
of a
sorry, it's a
co-conspirator. So I mean,
exception.
at some point y'all are saying, this isn't hearsay because we're not offering it for the truth. So I know that's not
sorry,
what you
I was-
meant,
I
but let's try
missed
to keep the terminology clear.
You're right. You're very, very right.
And I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just want to make clear, like, we
You're
got,
right, that's
we have got
important.
to all be clear about what we are saying and what we mean by what we're saying.
Your Honor is absolutely right.
All right.
And so we are saying that there is an exception,
Right.
and that this is the exception that it falls under.
Okay. All right. And so again, I understand that the conversation between Stillwell and Garlington might come in under a co-conspirator exception to hearsay. The thing that is at issue is the relaying of Nichols allegedly having said, whatever he said, you need to line up a lawyer or whatever, you need to pay for it because we did this for Buddy.
Right.
And the concern is that either
Yeah,
that part is
Pelton.
being offered for its truth, or even if it's not, that certainly once the jury hears that, they take that as evidence that it is true.
Understood. So I
So
hear more clearly.
do I understand you to be arguing that that part of that is also co-conspirator exception or no?
I need to address that part of it. So one moment, Your Honor.
Sure. Do I have the argument correct that y'all are propounding?
Well, yes. And if, while they're gathering this, Mr. Atkins is listening, I hope. So can I respond? If we break this down, here's what the sentences were. Garlington says, I talked to Funk. I've been with Brah. I don't know who that is. And I don't know whether that refers to Funk or Brah. And he had me on FaceTime. That could refer to either one of those people. What's up with Quay? That's the next question, next statement. Why the hell? I don't know. Quay on the phone saying something. Like, I don't know if and again, we got a he on shit. I don't know who the he is referring to. He told Rel, that's another person, that's another layer.
That's somebody who's listening. That's not somebody who's talking. So anyway, and also, can I get this portion of what you've written down as a transcript? Because it would be most helpful.
I can give you what we have, yes.
Okay,
But
great.
I'm breaking it down because now we're on a third person. He told, I don't know.
Okay, but that's a listener. So keep going.
Okay, he told Rel, and I don't know who Rel is, and I don't know whether Rel told Funk, and I don't know whether Rel told Brah.
Right.
We have no clue.
Okay, but keep going.
Okay, he told Rel, like, tell Buddy, god dang, get a lawyer, Brah. We did that shit for him, he paid, And then Garlington says, you know what I'm saying, to Garfield. To Shannon, I'm sorry. And Shannon says, what? And Garlington says, yeah, that's what Funk told me. He
Mhm.
was like, tell homie to chill out, bro. Now who's homie? And who's the Brah? We have so many layers of unknown, and nested hearsay is exactly that. That's the whole point.
Okay, so the short answer is yes, I've got your argument
Okay.
correct in terms of understanding what it is you're arguing.
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, to be clear, because I may not articulate this well, my position with what Mr. Harvey
Mhm.
just broke down, at least what these statements they say.
Yeah.
Unfunk, who was a defendant in this case, and the state believes was a YSL street gang member, him telling Garlington that Nichols needs to chill. Unfunk isn't charged with the murder of Shamel Drink, so him telling him that is a statement in furtherance of the
Okay.
conspiracy.
Nichols needs to chill. That's not what I'm concerned about.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
But
I'm concerned about the Funk saying, Garlington saying Funk told him that Nichols said he needs to pay. We did this for him, so he needs to get us a lawyer.
and Your Honor, the state feels
But send it to Rel, not to
It doesn't matter who he said it to. But it sounds like Funk heard it regardless.
No,
Do I have that part wrong?
I think you do, because he said it to Rel. Rel said it to somebody else.
Nichols said it to Rel,
Well,
allegedly. Allegedly, I understand.
Yes. And then Rel to Funk, then Funk to Garlington. So that's 4 layers at least.
So, Your Honor, two things is, and the court may just disagree with my argument, which in terms of.
What I like is some law.
Yes, Your Honor. So the case law I was referencing earlier, I will find this date, but there's no double hearsay issue. The statements are admissible without a showing of the declarant's personal knowledge. And I may have been off kilter where I was thinking of, this is what I was thinking of by reference to the court, that there's not double hearsay in this statement, is that and I will just cite to this motion because the court can read this but
Okay.
I will find the date. But the state's position is that it is co-conspirator. It is in furtherance. Like the fact that Garlington is concerned or receives this information, that Nichols made that statement.
I understand that part. I
Yes, Your
agree
Honor.
with that part.
So the kernel, that part in the middle.
You understand what my concern is,
I
Ms.
do.
Love. You seem to understand it before, and I'm sure Mr. Atkins understands it too. He's just too busy trying to find the law.
That,
Yeah,
that,
go ahead.
that kernel in the middle, that Funk said, Nichols tells somebody, we did this for bro. Nichols saying, we did this for bro. Nichols saying, we did this for bro. I'll start out by saying, at best or worst, whichever you might want to look at it, Nichols is implicating himself and not Shannon necessarily. He hadn't said Shannon did anything. He's saying, me and somebody else did this for bro. So that's to start there as to Mr. Sharp's argument that it necessarily implicates Shannon, who has to push back.
But we
Number
was
two,
part of that nested
Unfunk
hearsay.
being
So we could be
a
the two on the phone
co-defendant
and not
of
we as a
Mr.
Nichols.
and a co-conspirator of Mr. Nichols, relaying what Mr. Nichols told to him. Whether or not Mr. Nichols said it or not, it's statements that Funk is asserting Mr. Nichols gave to him, even though it's a statement against the penal interest of Mr. Nichols. The reliability of the statement, the statement itself being the hearsay issue, we believe is dealt with in that it would be Mr. Nichols, a co-conspirator of Funk, relaying something in confidence to Funk, or saying something in confidence to somebody else who he considers a person reliable enough to share something that inculpatory with. Funk is not trying to harm Mr. Nichols, so he's not going out lying on Mr. Nichols. He's sharing this information in an effort to help Mr. Nichols get him to shut up and stop talking. They all are trying to get him to stop talking. So in terms of the reliability of the information, nobody here has any reason to share inaccurate information. It only furthers their purposes to be truthful about what's happening so that they can further protect themselves and inoculate themselves from any harm coming from this man talking. So the harms and dangers of hearsay that are normally present when, the whole reason it's kept out is, we don't know if it's true or not, are handled and dealt with by the circumstantial, I hate to use this, guarantees of trustworthiness given that are present in the way that this statement comes about. It's told in a way, it's relayed in a way that indicates it's shared in order to help, not to harm Mr. Nichols, to help all of them and keep them safe. So it's layered co-conspirator hearsay, if you will, but that first relaying of information, the declarant, Mr. Nichols, saying it to Funk, it would be definitely a statement against penal interest. But Mr. Greer, who is Umfunk, sharing that information is a co-conspirator statement, which we believe gets us past this idea that this is here nested hearsay. And as far as the 403 argument that is being made, in order for it to be so unduly prejudicial as to permit its exclusion, it would have to lure the fact finder into declaring guilt on a ground different from proof specific to the offense charged. And that just doesn't exist here. So we don't believe that they have met, and by they, I mean the opponents of this information coming in, they have not met their burden of showing that this statement from Umfunk regarding Nichols telling on himself, and basically Nichols trying to get help for himself, like Brah needs to pay for a lawyer. We did it for him. We don't believe.
Hey, no, sir, Mr. Harvey, stop right now. Stop right now. Stop right now. Mr. Harvey, sit down. I am not going to have you interrupt court. You may object in just a moment. We will get to your objection in a moment. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. There has been no showing that this information is so substantially more prejudicial than probative that it should permit the exclusion of what we believe is obviously.
It was Percival's
relevant
face. She said,
evidence.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Harvey, your objection.
My objection is for lying to the court, making things up to the court, and saying speculatively to the court that I assume Frankie paid for Mr. Nichols' lawyer. You got the evidence of that?
I don't even understand that to be what she said.
That's exactly what she said.
Okay, well, the record will reflect what she said, but I
That's what she
understood her to be
said.
talking about what was being said within the context of this conversation we just listened to.
Your Honor.
it was asserting what was said, and it was not what was.
I'm going to listen to it again. Offline, not in court.
Your Honor, this is where I'm at with this. Just because the state says something is so doesn't make it so.
I understand.
And the state is saying, oh, well, this was done in furtherance of the conspiracy. This was done in furtherance of the conspiracy. The whole point of the hearsay rules, and I understand that the confrontation clause might not be implicated here, but the hearsay rules, the whole point of the hearsay rules is you get to see who's saying it, know what their basis is. You get to cross-examine them. They come to court, etc. And the problem here is the state is just sitting here saying, oh, well, clearly Mr. Umfunk did this to further the conspiracy and click. How do we know? How does she know? Maybe Umfunk, I'm not saying this is the case, but what if Umfunk was involved? Umfunk would have every reason to shift responsibility to other people. What about the next line in the hearsay ladder that we have? We don't know what people's motivations are. And just because the state says, well, their motivation was to do this or do that, she's not inside Umfunk's head. She's not inside Rel's head. So I reject that their argument that they can just label things as hearsay exceptions and it makes it so.
Well, I understand that. I take what everybody says as your argument in support of your position. I don't accept it as fact. It's an argument. I hear the counter argument. Sometimes I hear a lot more counter arguments back and forth after that. And then I make a determination about whether our evidence rules permit this particular evidence. The point of the hearsay rules.
But it
and
should
all
be
of the
upon
evidence
information and
rules is
belief.
So that to the extent the court can help it, only trustworthy information gets before the jury. And that's what we're trying to sort out here. So I understand that the stakes are high. I think that this might be a good time to break for the day. I will re-listen to this. Mr. Adkins, if you can find, either the date that I can find the motion or the case law itself.
So no
just send
court
that, Ms.
tomorrow,
Horsfield. You'll
guys.
send it on to me.
There's IT issues. Maybe with Bruce's mic.
And I will try to get the court and send to Mr. Atkins what I read to the court as the transcript of
That would be great. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right.